Hey guys, welcome to Shin and Shenanigans right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm Jess. You can find me on X at shinpad_IESR. All right, we got a couple topics about FIFA tonight. Um, First off, female staff mandate, pipeline protection, and what's missing. Okay, so this one I'm just like, why? I mean, I just figured would have been a thing before, but all right. So FIFA made a move recently that I think deserves real conversation, not just a headline, not just a thumbs up. They've passed a new mandate that requires teams competing in FIFA women's competitions to have their head coach and or assistant coach to be female, at least one of them. They also have to have at least one female medical staff member and a minimum of 2 female officials seated on the bench. And look, when I first saw this, my reaction is, okay, good, great, that's progress. But the more I sat with it, the more I realized there's actually 2 really important conversations happening here. First of all, I mean, FIFA is only having one of these conversations. Today we're talking about both. The pipeline case that I'm talking about is that they're trying to get more women into coaching. Great. The numbers make the case, kind of make the case for them. A 2023 FIFA survey found that 5% of coaching positions across their member associations were held by women. 5%. And the part that's really got me is that the number actually went down from 7% in 2019. So not only is the representation low, it's moving in the wrong direction. And of course, context matters here. Because when people push back at mandates like this, and they will, like they always do, the argument is usually just let the best person get the job. But when the pipeline has been systematically underfunded, when women haven't had same access to licensing pathways, mentorships, visibility, the argument doesn't hold the weight people think it does. The playing field isn't level. You can't just say, may the best coach win and call it fair. Jill Ellis, who's been a vocal part of pushing the initiative forward, has talked about this in terms of clearer pathways and expanding visibility. The idea being that young players and aspiring, sorry about that, house dog, that aspiring young players and coaches see women on those sidelines, and the shift feels possible. And that's great. Representation and leadership genuinely matters for the next generation coming up through the game. And there's a part of me that's like, when I see they're mandating this, just because it's a mandate doesn't mean it's going to actually help women get into coaching. When people hear the words, you have to do something, it's honestly just got a negative cringe to it, doesn't it? An absolute negative cringe to it. And yes, the pipeline argument is real. It's valid. It addresses something that needs addressing, more women in football. But I feel like this is not the whole story. When I heard this, I was like, that's great. But I'm also thinking about this in terms of protection. And by that, I mean, this is another added layer of protection for the players, for the athletes, to have that female in immediate, I guess you would call it, charge, someone who's in charge, who is female in that kind of leadership role. And I feel like that angle is the angle that nobody's really talking about right now. You know, the women's game has it's documented, it's serious and painful history of abuse of power. And having women embedded in the technical staff around these athletes is not just a representative win, it's a structural safeguard. Now, think about the women's game and how it's been through the last few years. The NWSL coaching abuse scandal, where multiple coaches were found to have emotionally and, yes, I'm going there, sexually abused players. In some cases for years, while people around them either didn't know or looked the other way. And this is kind of it's the darker side of this. Like, yeah, you can talk about how great this is, that they want to have more women in coaching, but you also have to be realistic. Not only realistic, but you have to see the whole picture. This is another safeguard to protect these players. The Rubiales incident back in 2023 at the World Cup, where the president, you know, if some of you don't know, he kind of did some things that he shouldn't have. And this was on a global stage. And he defended it, you know, systematic issues that have been documented across national programs of multiple contents. This is a massive issue. And they're not isolated incidents either, they're patterns. And one of the things that enables those patterns when athletes are surrounded, is when athletes are surrounded by primarily male authority figures, coaches, medical staff, officials, with very few people in the room that they might feel safer approaching. This kind of gives them a way for be like, hey, I need to tell you something. Kind of I just want to be honest. Having female staff does not automatically fix it. Get that. There have been times women have been implicated in covering up things, enabling things. And a mandate doesn't create that psychological safety by itself. But as a structural change, a shift in who holds the power and who is present in those spaces matters. It changes the dynamic. It gives athletes more potential points of contact with people that they feel more comfortable and safer with. And I feel like it'd be part of the reason we're celebrating this rule, because it is great to bring in coaching staff that are female. It's absolutely great. But it's also great that there's all this safeguard here. It really is. It's absolutely amazing that there is this added layer of protection for these athletes. So why isn't FIFA saying this out loud? I mean, I read the article that they presented on their own website, and they made no mention of this side of this topic. Look at the other side of the coin, guys. You know, the question I can't quite shake is that why is FIFA framing this almost entirely as a coaching pipeline initiative and not also naming athlete welfare as a goal? I mean, it could be pragmatic. They're just trying to get, you know, if you're trying to get resistant federations to adopt a rule, let's frame it as increasing female representation. That is a much easier sell than we're doing this partly because your current structures have enabled abuse. know this is a hard topic, but it is a topic that I feel like has to be discussed. And I feel like doesn't get discussed enough. And I'm talking about both men and women's sides because there's abuse on both sides. We have to protect the welfare of these players. Not just from the radical abuses, but the little things too. So, one starts as a conversation. Let's increase male representation. The other starts as a defensive argument. So, it could be strategic framing. The other possibility is less charitable, that the welfare dimension is not registering for the people designing these policies. At least not the way it should be. They're probably not even thinking about this. They're probably just like, oh, we want to get more women into coaching. And they're not really thinking about the topic. They're just thinking about it as in one certain aspect, and they've got like their blinders in. So, I mean, if they're just thinking about the optics and the pipeline and diversity metrics, they may not necessarily be asking, what does this mean for the athlete who's being mistreated right now? I mean, these two options are not mutually exclusive, but they can be true at the same time. I mean, fans, as a fan who covers this sport, and for all of us who care so much about this game, we should be naming both things out loud. This is a conversation that needs to happen because of the years of abuse that have gone on. And this is a great step towards protecting these athletes, protecting their welfare, looking out for them. Because, I mean, if you don't have that, it's not going to help the women's game grow. And I personally, I love football as a whole. But if you have that abuse, how do I put it? How do I put this? The player may not want to play, and you might see your favorite players leave the sport altogether because of what is not being seen on the pitch, because of things that you don't see, fans don't see. But I mean, if we're being honest about all of the reasons, the structure matters, not just the ones that are easy to say in the press release. The women's game deserves both things: a genuine pipeline for both women into coaching and leadership, and real structural protections for the athletes at the center of it. These goals aren't separate, they're the same. But that's my take on it. That was the question that almost immediately popped into my head because I was like, dude. That, like, immediately. All right, guys. Gonna be switching gears a little bit here. So we've got some things coming up, and let me introduce you to Big Mike, who will be telling you all about what to be seeing in the coming weeks, in a few weeks. Hey, Big Mike.
What's going on? Jess, how the heck are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I cannot complain. I'm outside in a very warm environment, so life is good.
Awesome. So tell me, what's going on in a few weeks?
So, for those of you who don't know, I will be joining you in a few weeks to be your official co-host on Shin Pads and Shenanigans. And just so y'all know, I'm here for the shenanigans, right? Shin pads are for wimps. We don't need the shin pads. Let's just go full shenanigans, girl. Let's go.
Absolutely, 100%. Well, we look forward to
No, but
having you on here.
I'm looking forward to it. We get to talk the beautiful game. Just really excited. Just a fun year, a fun time to be joining you. Obviously, with everything that's going on in Europe, we got a MLS. Obviously, we got World Cup this year. This is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it's going to be so much fun having you on here. I'm not just talking to myself.
Well, I'm sure I'll give you some. I'm sure we'll agree on some things. We may have some difference, we may have a little difference of opinions on a few things, but that's what's going to make it fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more with it.
But I did hear your talk on the whole, adding women into this, and I'll just give you the fact that I'm a little bit biased here. I'm a girl dad, and a girl dad who had a pretty good soccer career. Oh, wait, am I allowed to say soccer or should I say football? Should get that right first?
Say. Nah, say what you want. We all know.
Fair enough. But I mean, look, for me, I'm all for it. I mean, there's a lot of good, qualified, smart, brilliant women out there that can contribute a lot to the game. We're starting to see it in a lot of other sports as well. So, and I understand there's going to be difference of opinions, whatever, and yada yada. But I think we need to take the mind into the game, and to me that's where it's at. I mean, it's a game of just minds and timing, and I mean you all know this, so to me there's no real argument here. Just in my opinion, you got the mind to do it, and you can teach the angles and the timing. Then there's no reason to allow a person to come up help contribute to your club or your country. So,
absolutely, it's good overall. But I just kind of feel like it needs to be talked about.
It does. No, 100%. 100%. No doubt.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. When should we expect you on?
So my official debut will be April 16. I believe I got my date right. I believe it's a Thursday. Unfortunately, I'd love to join sooner, but there's this thing called paying my bills.
Yeah.
And
I get it.
Yeah, you got to pay that mortgage. So the other job I got is keep me out a little bit longer than I thought, but it's okay. Like, you're still going to hear from me, and but come April 16th, we get to do this full time, and I couldn't be more excited.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited too. Well, it's been good having you on, and we look forward to seeing you April 16th. And there's a Thursday. I did double check my calendar.
Absolutely. Let's do this. Let's have a lot of fun. And obviously, we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on in this game, and like I said, I just can't wait to join.
It'll be awesome. All right. Well, it's good having you on, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks.
All right. Look forward to it, everybody. Have a lot of fun tonight. Keep kicking back, keep kicking tail and taking names, girl.
Absolutely. All day long, every day.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, guys. That's super exciting. We're getting a co-host up here finally, and it is going to be absolutely fun. And so more shenanigans to come. All right, guys, we are going to take a short little break. You've been watching Shin Pads and Shenanigans right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
All right, welcome back to Shin and Shenanigans right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. All right, our last little topic that we're diving into is FIFA has partnered with YouTube. Exciting, right? Yeah. I'm not sure if this is a bold move or if it's just a half measure. So, FIFA has been busy lately, obviously. We just talked about the female staff mandate. Here comes more announcements. They have officially partnered with YouTube ahead of the 2026 World Cup, naming them a preferred platform for the tournament. And a look on the surface, this sounds really exciting. YouTube is the biggest video platform on the planet. The World Cup is the biggest single sport event on the planet, and they're joining forces. Great, right? Mostly. There are parts of this deal that I'm genuinely great, and there's also parts that I'm like, why? Just why? So what are they actually doing? There are three main pieces to this. First, media partners. The broadcasters who already hold official rights to the World Cup will be able to put premium content on their YouTube channels. This includes extended highlights, behind-the-scenes footage, shorts, replays, multiple camera angles, stuff like that. More ways to monetize, more ways to reach people on a platform where people are already spending a huge amount of time. That part makes a lot of sense. Second of all, YouTube creators, your favorite football YouTubers, tacticians, vloggers, whoever. They are going to be getting what FIFA is calling unprecedented access to the tournament. We're talking physical presence at the stadiums, mid zones, exclusive spaces. The idea is that they won't just be they won't be reacting from home. They'll be generating content inside the experience. Talks, tactical breakdowns, human interest stories, behind the scenes stuff. That traditional broadcasts, all of this that the traditional broadcasts don't necessarily cover. And ahead of the tournament, creators are going to have access to FIFA's digital archive to build pre-tournament content. So they're getting access to like games and footage from like years past. That is the third part, unlocking its World Cup archive on its official YouTube channel. Full-length past matches, iconic moments, historical content going all the way back. All of it available on demand. So, I mean, two of those things I'm excited about. And then let's talk about the one that gets lost on me. Full-length past coverage on YouTube. Free to watch. I mean, that's significant for someone who has gotten into football recently and wants to build their knowledge. I mean, right now, I'm that kind of person that, like, I'm in the middle of listening to one of the densest football books, Burning the Pyramid. And one of the frustrations is not being able to easily watch the matches being referred. The gap is real, clearly. Historical matches, you know, that's going to be like a hard access for the average fan. For the creators, that's a big deal too. Before the tournament even starts, you'll have people doing deep dive, legendary moments, breakdowns of iconic tactical setups. My thought is going beyond the 4-3-3 formation. I would love for someone to go into like the 1-5, what was it? 1-5-7? Some really old tactic. Like, I'm talking like 1800s. I want to see someone go deep into that. I'm just kidding. I'm probably going into it in one of my articles. Anyway. And also giving their retrospectives of national teams in the past, content that builds real context and excitement leading into the 2026 World Cup. That's how you grow the game with younger fans who didn't grow up watching it. I didn't grow up watching it. I started watching football when LAFC was established back in like 2017-18 when they had their first match ever as a club. That's when I started watching it. I did not grow up playing football. I didn't grow up watching it. My family was not into sports. If anything, like there were times during the summer my dad and I would watch the New York Yankees baseball team, but that is a discussion for the one of our other premium shows that we have. You should definitely go check out. It escapes my brain right now of what the specific name of the show is called. We do have it. I think it's on Tuesday nights. But you should definitely go check it out if you're a baseball fan. And the creator access piece of this is real potential. The truth is, a lot of younger fans don't primarily watch football through traditional broadcasts. They watch creators who explain the game in a way that feels accessible, personal, entertaining. What we're doing here. At least I hope. Okay. Getting these creators physically inside the tournament, not just reacting on the couch, is smart. That's meeting your audience where they are. Archive access, great. Content creator access, great. I'm on board. Now, the part that makes me think, what the heck are they doing, is about 10 minutes. The detail that's been bugging me is that media partners will be able to live stream the first 10 minutes of every match on their YouTube channel. 10 minutes. 10 minutes of a 90-minute match live. FIFA's calling this a strategy to attract younger viewers. Basically letting people get a taste of the match, an appetizer, if you will. And then they'll want to go find the full broadcast somewhere, which conceptually I get the logic, I understand it, but in practice, I really don't think this is going to go how they're hoping it will go. If you're a younger viewer who's actually curious about the World Cup and you click on the stream because it's free and accessible, you're in. You're watching, you're invested, and then at the 10-minute mark, it cuts off, and now you have to go find a cable subscription or a streaming service where you can actually watch it live. A significant chunk of those people are not going to follow through. They're going to be like, it's too much effort. It's too much effort. Or they're going to be like, I'm not paying for something like that. I want to watch it, but I'm not paying for it because finances are tight or what have you, you know? They're going to end up scrolling to the next thing. Add them and you let them go. 10 minutes is not enough time to get emotionally invested in a match. Most football matches don't even have their defining moments in the opening 10. Yes, there are times where scoring is like boom off the bat. Not always the case. And with massive matches like this, it's like, dude, they're going to be fighting tooth and nail to keep the other team from scoring. So you're probably not going to get to see a goal until well into the first half, if not early in the second. If it even happens during that time. I mean, it might not even happen until like the 92nd minute. You know, if the goal is genuinely to grow the younger audience, why is the solution more friction? Because the whole 10-minute thing, you're essentially showing someone the menu and then asking them to go to a different restaurant to eat. The whole value of YouTube is that it's frictionless. You click, you watch, you stay. The moment you introduce, okay, now go somewhere else, you're working against the platform's entire appeal. I get that FIFA has to protect the value of its broadcast deals, and there are billions of dollars in rights fees at stake, but they can't just, and I get they can't just put the whole tournament on YouTube for free. It's a real constraint, I get it, but I think there's a better version of this idea, whether that's full matches in certain regions where broadcast rights aren't sold, or specific games made available in markets FIFA is trying to develop. The 10 minutes for everyone feels like a compromise that satisfies nobody. You know, and it's just ridiculous. 10-minute preview, you know? The whole FIFA YouTube partnership, it's mostly a smart move. Mostly. It's exciting that they're opening up the archive for anyone who loves the history of the game. The creator access has real potential because, I mean, not a lot of people, I feel like a lot more people, especially younger viewers, specifically the target audience that they're trying to reach right now with this, they're not going to be watching things like ESPN or my brain escapes me, TSN. I think it's TSN for Canada. They're not going to be watching those stations. They're going to be watching content creators on YouTube or TikTok because attention spans are that tiny. You know, and it's great that they're giving access to the creators access because they're going to be able to reach those audiences. But the whole 10-minute preview feels like FIFA's trying to have it both ways, trying to have their cake and eat it too kind of a deal. They're trying to get credit for openness while still keeping the gate firmly closed. And if the actual goal is growing the game with younger fans, half measures are not gonna get you there. Give people the game. Trust that if they fall in love with it, they'll find ways to keep watching. Simple as that. It's how football grows. It is how football has always grown. That's just my take on it. I think it's an absolutely dumb idea that they're doing the 10-minute thing. It just makes zero sense. Zero. Yeah, I just... No. All right, guys. You have been watching Shin Pads and Shenanigans right here on IE Sports Radio. If you guys want to come join the conversation on Band, you can send us a DM or you can comment on the pinned post on X to get the invite to join the conversation and maybe even be on the show. Until next time, guys, keep those shin pads sharp and your shenanigans sound. You've been watching Shin Pads and Shenanigans right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. See you next time.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.